Guys, eBay seller standards. Let's roll. We're going to dive into what you can and can't control as an eBay seller. My name's Beckett. If you're loving our stuff, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell down there to make sure you'll stay up to date with all of our latest content.
So guys, when it comes to seller standards, it can be broken down into 4 categories of how you get your ranking. And this is determined by your interactions with your customers and their feedback. Pretty much almost entirely. And this is why nailing these 1 or 2 little things, which I'm going to explain, is very, very important. So number 1 on the standard dashboard is transaction defect rate. Okay, so if that gets too high of a percentage, then that's going to affect the ranking of your seller standard. My rate for Beckett Boy is 0.0%. I've never had a defect. So now there's a couple of different little things with the defect rate. Now one is the transactions you cancel for being out of stock. So every time, and that can be, if you ever bought off a seller and all of a sudden they say, oh, you purchase it, they come back, they cancel the transaction on you, and whether or not they're telling the truth or not, at the end of the day, they cancel and say they're out of stock. I've had it happen to me a couple of times. Sometimes you get that when you find something that's too cheap of a price, and they must realize it or whatever. And when you do that as a seller, that can affect your standard. The other one is cases closed without seller resolution. So you want those to be ideally 0 to stay in the green. Number 2 is, and this is the most, well, I'd say the second most important, but out of these 4 seller standards, this is probably the most important, and that is late shipment rate. Getting the people their stuff on time. Now, your standards are set up in your postage. It's important that you follow whatever you tell your customers that you're going to do. If you say you're going to ship same day, ship same day. If you say it's going to be 1-day handling, 2-day handling, whatever it is, you stick to that. Mine are all same day and 1-day handling, every single one of my items, and don't muck around with that. Now, your late shipment rate cannot be above 5% to be top rated. So it's got to be 5% or less to be top rated. And this is really, really important. And that falls into your shipping practices and the other thing I was going to talk to you about. Number 3 on the standards dashboard list is cases closed without seller resolution. So if someone has a refund, they're unhappy or whatever, and you don't get that problem resolved for the customer, that is a flag against your account that sits in the background, and that will tell eBay to have your listings lower than some of the other people with the same listings. So it's really important that you stay on top of these things. Number 4 on the dashboard is transaction and sales, so the actual number of items that you sell and dollar value. So it gets broken down into totals and then monthly totals as well. So that's another important one as well. So you can't sell nothing and be a top rated seller. You have to have product, and it should be good product. So they're the 4 things that eBay establishes that will affect your ranking, whether you're standard, above standard, below standard or top rated seller. I'm a top rated seller, and that is because I've got zeros across the board except for late shipment, which is just under 5%. But your 4 points of contact, your transaction defect rate, late shipment rate, cases closed without seller resolution, and transaction sales. So what I'm going to tell you out of those, the one to focus on the most is your late shipment rate. If you've got good standards for shipping, you know, in my shop I'm selling cards, so I want those cards to be protected. I want to send them in bubble mailer, bubble wrapping. If it's slabs, wrap them up, put them inside what we like to refer as the cardboard sandwich, have that all snug, and then put probably a little bit more bubble wrapping and put it inside the mailer, send it off, and we want to make sure we send with tracking. Now, even my low priced items I send with tracking, and I still send everything packaged up with the bubble wrapping, the cards, if they're singles, inside a top loader. These things are really, really important, and when the customer gets that, they'll leave good feedback. If they're going to leave feedback, they can't. You don't give them a chance to put you down as a striker. No, you might be thinking, oh no, I'll get away with it forever, and yeah, that'll never happen to me. It will. It'll happen. I've negged people before for sending stuff poorly packaged. If you buy something and it comes and it's half damaged, what are you going to think? You're going to think, well, I spent my money on this. Customers are no different, and if they're paying for something, it has to be what you're advertising, and it needs to arrive to them undamaged and unscathed, and that's really important. So your shipping practices and your late shipment rate for the eBay business model, and I cannot stress this enough, those two things are the most important building blocks for eBay business. And that's not just hobby, that's all eBay businesses, because you are essentially going to be sending stuff out. Therefore, your shipping practice has to be a priority. It just has to be. It's not a physical shop where people are coming to see you. You're sending stuff in the mail. So if you don't nail that properly, and people are getting bad products or poorly packaged products sent to them, damaged and all that, you're going to get bad feedback. You're not going to be able to continue to sell on eBay. Now, as you can see here by this feedback that I've left, now this was still positive feedback, but I gave this guy the benefit of the doubt. I could have nagged him. I actually had this particular seller's stuff that they sent me. I paid top dollar, and they sent really crappy postage standards, and I let them know that it could have been packaged better, and they weren't happy about it. And as you can see, they're clearly saying about how it affects business. So if people are going to say things, you want to make sure they're saying the right things about your eBay business. It's that simple. Stay on top of that. Stay on top. I'm going to leave links in the description of this video where you can get bulk padded mailers, the guy that I buy off, bulk tracking labels, at a cheap price that you can attach to make it worthwhile for your eBay. If you're serious about your eBay business, you need to put these practices in place. You need to. So I've been selling stuff for about 12 months, and I'm up to near 500 feedback, 100% positive feedback, and some very, very happy customers. So the feedback part of eBay is what drives the business, and it's important to understand that. And that is why the shipping part, we have to nail that as sellers. We have to. Doesn't matter what you think of your customers, you like them, you don't like them, or whatever. If you want to establish proper eBay business, you've got to think about it properly. Even if you're starting off small, you've got to invest. You've got to take the money, put money into padded mailers and tracking and bubble wrap and getting these things in place. And it doesn't matter even if you're not selling cards or hobby stuff, if you're selling other stuff. For anyone else who may be watching this, it's important to nail the mailing, postage, and shipping side of the business. It's really, really critical, and it will be the building blocks for your business going forward.